Hello and welcome to this timeless pick a card reading for work and career. We're going to be taking a little bit of a look at your job, your work, your career, see how that's going, see what some positive next steps might be for you. We're going to have a look at the energy there. So we have 4 piles of cards to choose from here. So pile 1, we have the crystal Rhodonite, which is pink and black. Pile 2, we have a lovely piece of orangey yellow citrine. Pile 3, this is actually a piece of wild foraged quartz, which is why it's not actually polished. And pile 4, we have a reddish brown piece of agate, which is quite lovely. You can see the colour there. There we go. So take a moment to gaze at the cards, see which pile of cards you feel drawn to. You may feel drawn to watch more than one. You might want to watch 2, which is absolutely fine. And then click on the timestamp below and watch your reading. So hello pile 1, you've chosen the first pile of cards with the Rhodonite crystal, one of my personal favourites. We're going to pop that over there and take a look at your first cards. So first of all we have summer, bring to fruition, and we have holly, be a spiritual warrior. So let's take a look at these. Some beautiful fruits on there actually. Very interesting, both red. We have the red berries of the holly here and we have the red tomatoes of summer. Very interesting that we have those colours coming through, and it feels like a very fruitful time for you potentially at work. And if it's not fruitful, it feels like it's going to be. There's a very positive energy here when it comes to actually achieving results and to perhaps receiving the rewards for the work, the efforts that you've put in. It feels like now would be the moment to actually receive those rewards. So it feels like there might be something very positive coming on the horizon there. But at the same time with the holly, I mean, that takes us, these are like opposite ends of the year. We've got the summer in the middle of winter, holly representing the winter solstice, and summer, obviously the summer solstice, the complete opposite. So it's almost like there are 2 very opposite energies when it comes to your job, when it comes to your work, and maybe the person that you are in work is very different to the person you are outside of it. I feel it's possible that although I feel you're quite successful, I feel you're quite good at what you do. That doesn't mean you're a millionaire or anything, but you're good at what you do. I feel the person that you are in the workplace is really poles apart from the person you are outside of the workplace. So there is a little bit of a disconnect there. So that is something that's worth just noting. It's not necessarily such a bad thing, but it may be something to just pay attention to. I'm going to bring in some more cards. Let's bring in the dragons, see what they've got to say here. So we have 11, invention, burning with passion. Well, again, there's more red coming through here, more red energy. Number 3, inspiration. Expression. Yes, and hope. And what I want to say for you, pile 1, with these initial cards, I really want to say that I feel maybe you're holding back in the workplace, and I think it could be because of this disconnect between who you truly are and who you appear to be in the workplace. And I mean, yes, of course, we all have to temper ourselves in the workplace, don't we? We have to turn up as our professional selves, you know, in inverted commas. We have to be the persona we are expected to be in the workplace, whatever environment it is that you work in. And I feel that actually you could bring the 2 a little bit closer together, and you may have been concerned about doing that. Maybe you thought that the real you might be intimidating or might be a little bit scary for your boss or for the people that you work with, perhaps. But I want to say no. I want to say that actually you can bring in your inventiveness, your intuition, into the workplace, bring that spiritual aspect of you into the workplace, because I think it will help you to express yourself in a much clearer manner, and I think it can actually help you to take things further, bring in the other abilities that you have outside of the workplace, be they spiritual, be they artistic, be they just thinking outside the box. The person that you are outside of work, bring that person into work. I want to see them in the workplace. That's what I'm feeling quite strongly, because it feels as though you are very, very innovative. We've got 11, invention, burning with passion. You're a creator. You're someone who can create, who can innovate, who can come outside of the box and think outside of the box and be very directional with your energy as well. Very motivational for other people as well. There's lots of red here. You're a very warm, motivated person. You're a very driven person, I think. And if you're hiding half of yourself, you cannot be that full self in the workplace, and that's always going to hold you back one way or another. So I want to say, don't be afraid to be the full you in the workplace. I think, yes, you've done okay so far. You know, I don't feel like you're doing badly, particularly in the workplace. And do remember, this is a group reading, so take what makes sense for you and leave the elements that don't. But I feel like it could go better. I feel like part of you is wondering why you might have been overlooked for an emotion. For an emotion? Interesting. I was going to say a promotion, and the word emotion came out then. That's very interesting. Okay, let's move on. But the word emotion came out for some reason. So maybe there are emotional aspects of you that you hide in the workplace that people don't realise you have. Okay, so I want you to show a more emotional side of yourself, or more genuine emotion sides of yourself, not like break down and cry every 5 minutes. That's not particularly helpful in the workplace. That's not particularly desirable. But be your true self emotionally. Show the whole gamut of and range of emotions, the compassion that you have, the empathy for others that you have. Because it feels to me as though you might have been passed over for a promotion, or an opportunity that you were hoping to use for greater levels of self-expression, which I think would have been very fulfilling for you, but you may have missed out on that, because it feels like there's this very artistic, creative, interesting side of you that just doesn't come out at all in the workplace, and it is time for it to show up now. It really is. You don't have to keep them separate. I think your colleagues will have a little bit of a surprise. Your boss have a bit of a surprise when they find out who you actually are. You're a bit of a dark horse, I see. I think they've really underestimated you just because you play this specific persona. And I think that's a shame, because I think you're actually playing small. Although you're doing okay, I think you're playing small, and I think you could do bigger, you could do better than you currently are. And I'm not saying that you're not working hard enough. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say I think you should be in more of a high-up position, maybe a more managerial position, maybe a more technical position, something a bit higher up, something a bit more challenging to the intellect rather than just challenging to your patience, or something where you have to just slog and work harder, because I don't think you need that. I think you work hard enough already. Let's bring some more cards in here, see what we've got. So we have the Rainbow Prince, number 26, inverted. We have the River Queen, number 36, inverted, and the Prison Waif, 31. Okay. So we're going to remember that these two came out the wrong way round, but I'm going to turn them up the right way just so that we can look at them and see them more clearly. So the Rainbow Prince, compensation and perseverance on 26.8, and the River Queen, flow, letting go, natural movement, 36.9. Yes, okay. These are very creative numbers, very abundant numbers for manifesting coming through here numerologically with these two cards, but they're blocked because they're turned upside down. So like I was saying, it does feel like your energy is stunted when you're in the workplace. Although you do well for yourself, you're not being your full self, you're not being the full expression, the greatest, grandest expression of yourself that you absolutely could be in the workplace. And I think that's holding you back. I think it's also making things harder than it needs to be as well, which is a terrible shame. And I think it may be preventing you from receiving the financial compensation or perhaps the awards, accolades that you actually deserve. And I think you would if people knew who you really were and what you were really capable of. And I think that's a shame. I think there is a little bit too much of trying to put on a very specific face or a specific mask in the workplace. And you may have your reasons for that. But if this is a place to work where you cannot be yourself, it may be time to actually look at a change. It may be time to go somewhere else where you really can be your full self. You can literally go with the flow of your true self, show all of your beautiful rainbow colours of who you are, show all of the things that you're capable of, because it feels to me, with the prison waif showing up, this isn't a positive energy. The prison waif kind of comes in with low self-esteem, low self-worth, sabotage, self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. And it feels to me almost as if you are sabotaging yourself on some level, whether you realise it or not, whether you're doing it intentionally or not, for whatever reason. There is a little bit of self-sabotage going on here. So it's not just other people around you. It's important that we take responsibility for our lives, because those are the only aspects we can change. The things that we do, the things other people do, we can't change, but we can change how we act, how we react, how we choose to view and understand things. And with 31.4 as well, it feels like you might be a little bit altruistic. It feels like you're a team player. I see that you're a hard worker, you're a team player, but sometimes at your own expense. I think you are one of those people that gets the job done, makes sure the work is done at the end of the day, but you don't necessarily take the credit for it. The team perhaps gets the credit, or you help other people and you don't get the glory. And I think that's a shame. And the team certainly does well with you there. I can see that from, from your harvest, from the original cards coming through there. But there is also a bitterness there as well. With the holly berries, there's a certain bitterness that comes through. It feels like, some of your rewards you don't get to eat, because we don't eat holly berries, do we? Well, I don't. I'm pretty sure they're poisonous. I'm not sure. Someone tell me in the comments. But it does feel like there is some bitterness there, and the holly leaves, of course, are very spiky and spiny. So it feels as though in some ways this job kind of gets under your skin in a negative way sometimes. You're good at it. You're a great team player, but you can't be your full self in this role, and so you end up just supporting other people, and other people kind of ride on your shirt tails that maybe don't deserve the success and the accolades that they get, and that must be very frustrating as well. So it could be time to think about actually moving to a different job, moving to not necessarily a different career, because I see you're very good at what you do, unless you actually want to move to another career, if this career is stifling you. Completely your choice, always has to be your choice. But you do have a very strong opportunity to actually do that now. And I think the universe will actually bring in opportunities for you. I think a job offer may have already come up, or maybe about to come up, with the 36-9 energy there, because that is potent manifesting energy. Or it may have already come up and you said no to it, but you're not quite sure why you did that. So it may be time to go back and look at that opportunity and ask the universe to send you others if that one's already gone. So, courage, number 1, yes. And 5, a consciousness of lack. Now that is interesting, because this card ties in very much with the prism wave. It's basically the same energy. It's a lack of self-worth. It's a poverty consciousness. It's believing that you can't have the money, you won't get them, you won't get the level of abundance that you deserve, that perhaps you don't deserve money. You may have some very, very negative thoughts about money, which can make it very difficult to live an abundant life and to receive all the rewards that the universe would like to send you for your hard works, for your dedication. So it does feel very much as though courage is needed here. Courage is needed to be your full self, to be your true self, to be a much bigger and grander version of yourself in the workplace. So I feel like the message is very much one of push yourself out of your comfort zone right now. I think it's quite exciting, because there is an exciting opportunity to do better. You've done okay, but it feels like in this current role you've kind of gone as far as you can as things are. It kind of feels like you're bumping up against the side now, bumping up against the wall, going, I want to go further, but I can't as things stand. So either you need to unleash this very creative and inventive aspect of you in the workplace and look to get some sort of promotion, or it may be time to actually move on from this particular job for you. So let's bring in some messages here, a little message oracle deck. See what else we can glean about this situation, see if there's any advice here for you moving forwards. Okay. The star being starseed. Well, that's what I said about you not being your full self. Maybe you think you're too weird. I've been there. I used to work in the corporate world. I get it. I was definitely too weird to show my full self, and I definitely didn't for many, many years. And then I showed a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. Got interesting. Change the record, 36. Again, 36-9, that energy coming in. This is a 9 card as well. I don't know if you can see that, because I wrote it in a metallic ink for some reason for the starseed card. Why not? Yeah, 36-9, there is a huge opportunity here to grow, to manifest much bigger, greater things. It's very exciting, but you have to change the record. You have to do something differently. You have to stop being exactly as you are at the moment in the workplace. You have to be this fuller aspect of self. And if you've got stuck in negative thought patterns in the workplace, you have to get rid of those. You have to get rid of those negative thought patterns that are holding you back. And that can definitely be done. Learn to rest, not to quit on number 1. Yes. So it does feel like now is the time to do something different. And they do say that a change is as good as a rest. So I do want to throw that out there. It may not be that you literally need to take a break from work altogether. You may need a holiday or a vacation, absolutely. And if you have the opportunity, why not take one? If you need to rest, please rest. But don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on improvements in your career, because I think that's very possible at the moment, but you do need to make some changes. Very, very important that you make some changes and allow yourself to embody all of who you are in the workplace so that you can be that incredible creative person and you can actually reap the rewards you deserve. I want you to aim a little bit higher. So let's see what else we've got. The road is long, 29, 11, 2. We are all unique and we are all one. There's another 31 coming in there, and that's interesting. We've got some repeating numerology coming in here, which is very, very interesting to see. So the road is long. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, our work lives tend to be very, very long. It's not a short period of your life unless you're very fortunate indeed and become a millionaire or something and decide to be an eccentric millionaire and retire, which is lovely if you can do that. I've got nothing against people doing that. I hold no grudge to anyone who's able to do that. But yes, it is long. So I want you to make sure that you are truly happy in what you're doing, truly able to express yourself, truly able to be your real self, and that you're not squashing that amazing star-shaped peg into a very, very square square hole. Because you are not the square peg. You don't fit in the square hole. You're this amazing star-shaped peg. And you deserve to be seen and valued for all that you are. That's what I want to say. You deserve to be valued for all that you are. And you are a team player. And I think there is a team out there that will value you once you are being honest and genuinely showing the world who you actually are, what you're capable of. Because you are a team player, because you are very good at supporting the group, supporting the team, I think you will go far in anything that's a not-for-profit. I think where you are working with people, helping people, where you are working more as a team rather than on individual targets, I think, again, that would work well for you. That is so, so important, where everyone is getting recognised for their contribution rather than one person running away with all the pie and leaving everyone else with crumbs. So you do need that kind of work environment, I would say. So let's just bring in some money cards here as well to have a look at that side, because obviously we don't work for fun. We work because we have to. We have to pay bills. Golden opportunity, 15. Interesting. Make your money work harder. Oh, sensible investments. Oh, interesting. Okay, now, quick caveat. I do not give financial advice. I'm not qualified to do so. This is not financial advice. All right, then we're just looking at the energy surrounding money for you here. I'm sure you know that's common sense, but I'm just going to mention it. So golden opportunity, 15.6. That's interesting. Now, this is what I was talking about. An opportunity may have already come up and you may have already dismissed it or said, oh, no, I couldn't possibly do that. You know, it feels like a job opportunity may have already come up for you, either with a pay rise or with just better conditions and the same pay, or actually getting what you're worth. But it came in with the question as to whether you actually could do it, insofar as whether you could step away from what you're doing at the moment. And I think you made a decision, you may have already made the decision, not to do it, not to move forwards with it. Obviously, this is a group reading, so that won't be the case for everybody. But I want to say, don't let those thought patterns hold you back. Those negative thought patterns I was talking about, do not let them hold you back from a very positive opportunity coming up in the workplace, because there will be another one. If you've already had an opportunity, it won't be the only one. There are others out there. Maybe it's with a different company. Maybe it's with a different employer, a different boss. Okay. Maybe it's about running your own business. I don't know. But there are other opportunities out there. That wasn't just the only one. I just want to reassure you of that. It wasn't last chance saloon. It wasn't that one opportunity or nothing. Okay, the universe isn't going to do that to you. Also, talking about your money here, there is a suggestion. So make your money work harder on 28.10.1. Okay, I also want to say I feel like your boss does that to you. And I know that's a thing. We've all experienced it in the corporate world, haven't we? Or in any aspect of business. When your employees do well, sometimes you don't get the recognition you want. The boss just comes in and says, yeah, that was great, now do better. Which is very demoralising. I have to say, I've experienced that. It's very demoralising when you've really gone the extra mile, extra 10 miles, and then the boss goes, yeah, that was great, now do better, now go an extra 20 miles, and you feel like you're slogging away and not being recognised or rewarded for it. So again, I want you to be careful you're not being taken advantage of, because you are the kind of person that could happen to, because you're very diligent, you have very high moral standards, and I think you are the kind of person that could be taken advantage of if you are not careful. Now, if that is the case right now, you may need to take some steps. And also financially, there may be something for you to actually do to make your money work harder. You know, there may be some And sensible investments comes in as well. So there may be something to do with investing or putting money into the right place that you're not doing at the moment. It might be to do with your pension, or it might be to do with actual investments that you have at the moment. So maybe take a second look at those if you have them. Make sure you've got some good up-to-date advice about investment from somebody who's qualified to give that to you, because I'm not, nor would I. I also want to say it might be a moment to invest in yourself as well, because you do have this amazing energy, you have this amazing creative talent to you. So it might be that in order to go further in your chosen career, you may need to invest in your career. You may actually need to pay for the training for yourself so that you can go further, so you can do the more interesting roles, so that you can experience the career progression that you would like to achieve. So again, that is something to think about. So don't assume that you already know it all and there's never anything to learn, because it feels like there could be something that you could be learning, an extra skill that you could be picking up that could really take you quite a long way. So I hope that is helpful to you, Pile 1. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do remember to leave me a like. I'd love to hear your comments if there's something you would like to share with us all. And I will see you very soon. Take very, very good care of yourself and good luck in your career. Hello, Pile 2. You've chosen the pile of cards with the citrine crystal that I always think looks like a chunk of orange ice lolly, so that's quite fun. Let's pop that over there and take a look at your cards. So first of all, we have the dandelion, persist in pursuits. And we have the valley, fertile new role. Oh, goodness me. Now, this is not a work deck. This pack of cards is not a work deck, but it seems to be telling you quite clearly about work here. So this is interesting. With the citrine crystal, you may have been drawn to that because you may have a blockage, or you may need to strengthen your solar plexus chakra. And the solar plexus also very connected to the dandelion, which is why I mentioned that. So there could be a little bit of self-worth to work on there. You may actually want to work on that chakra using yellow coloured crystals, or eating yellow healthy foods, for example, giving that chakra some actual spiritual healing like Reiki. And that is the chakra that sits on the physical solar plexus. So, persistent pursuits and fertile new role. Wow. Yeah, it does look like you will get what you're after. It does. It seems that your persistence will pay off, I feel. So there is a suggestion of a new role coming in for you here. And if you've been waiting for a new job opportunity to come in, it looks like it's on its way. It's just through the valley. It's not far away now. Even if you can't see it, even if it's not on the horizon, it's just the other side of these mountains here. It's really not very far away at all. It does feel, I want to say, possibly a new home as well. So there could be a house move associated with this change in your career, in your job role, but it's positive. It feels like a progression. It feels like you've worked very hard to get here. It feels like you've fought quite hard to get here as well, that you have had to be persistent. Perhaps you didn't have the best start in life. Perhaps you didn't have the opportunities when it comes to education or training or formation that other people may have had. So you may have had to work extra hard. You've had to be extra tenacious because you have this very tenacious dandelion energy with you, which also it can make you a little bit, I want to say, rough around the edges sometimes. I think sometimes maybe you're a little bit indelicate with how you put things. And remember, this is a group reading, so that this won't necessarily apply to everybody. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't make sense for you. But it may make you be a little bit harsh to others sometimes, just because you have had to be very strong in your life. You have had to be very harsh with yourself. You've had to work yourself, push yourself very hard in ways that perhaps other people didn't have to. So it can mean that sometimes I think perhaps you're a little bit too hard on other people. And I just want to point that out. You don't have to be so hard on others, and you don't have to be so hard on yourself either. It looks to me that your hard work is about to pay off if it hasn't already, because this is imminent, this energy here. So let's bring in some more cards. Let's pop those ones up there. Let's move the citrine. There we go. So we have 13, challenge, standing up for your rights. Okay, that makes sense. 12, the self, gathering your power. We have path. Oh, that's interesting. We have dormant aspects. Okay, this is interesting. I'm actually feeling a connection to pile 1 here for some of you. So if that resonates, go and watch that one as well. But there is kind of a theme going on here, I feel, in the readings between pile 1 and pile 2, which is perhaps not showing your true colours in the workplace, not showing all of the aspects of yourself. It feels like you may have been hiding some of them. And you would have your reasons for doing that, and your reasons are quite unique. I see that. But 13 challenge, standing up for your rights. Yes, what I was saying, it does look like you've had to work very hard, try very hard, fight to get where you are now on 13.4. You know, you have had many dragons to slay, you have had many obstacles to overcome that perhaps other people did not. So I think you're very good at fighting your own corner, which would make you very good at, if you're a lawyer or someone who has to argue a lot, you'll be very good at that. You might be a Gemini or something, actually. It kind of has Gemini energy there. Not necessarily, but it does feel like you are somebody who's really had to push through adversity that perhaps other people didn't face. Yes, and because of that, there is this little bit of self-worth that's lacking, this little bit of self-confidence that's lacking here. But I do feel that that is growing, the momentum is growing, so it feels like you may have already done some work on that aspect of yourself. You may already be working on that, you know, you may be working on healing your inner child, your inner shadow, bringing those aspects together, because it does feel very much like you've done that work, and it may have taken a lot of time, and it may be that you come from a difficult background, maybe from trauma, from abuse, maybe you brought through a lot of karma with you from a difficult past lifetime, but you've certainly had your work cut out. But it feels like you're pulling all of those pieces together now, it really does. And this says gathering your power. It does feel like you are becoming the full self, almost like your life up to date was some sort of test, some sort of spiritual rite of passage, perhaps, some things that you had to do, had to achieve, some difficulties you had to go through, like Hercules' labours. It kind of feels like that. And you've achieved a lot, although it may not look like it on the outside. But it feels like you started a lot further back than everybody else did in this race. Like everyone else started at the start line, and you had to start sort of 400 yards back over there. Which is very unfair when we have to deal with that. And I think you've had a lot to overcome as well to get where you are, which makes it all the more impressive, makes it all the more laudable. And there is this new opportunity coming in here. And it comes in with a more gentle energy as well, with the lovely path card here. We have these beautiful green and pink dragons, so the colour of the heart and the higher heart chakra. So this is very loving energy that comes in here, very natural energy, lots of beautiful flowers in the background here, all blossoming. So it feels like you're really blossoming now, being able to move into an aspect of your career, or perhaps a role within your company that really suits you, where you actually do get to walk your path and do the things that you've wanted to do all of this time. Perhaps you've been waiting to get this opportunity, waiting to reach this level in your career. So this is quite exciting here. And the dormant aspects card, I think you're going to be able to do things that you didn't think you were capable of. You're going to be able to learn, achieve, and do things that perhaps you thought weren't for you, or maybe you used to think weren't for you. And it's very exciting to see these parts of you waking up. It could be inspiration waking up. For some people, it certainly could be psychic aspects of you waking up at this point in time, and actually being able to use those aspects of intuition, or just reaching heights in your career that you thought you couldn't reach. You know, maybe you've got a PhD now, you know, maybe you've achieved academically in a way that you never thought you would, or other people told you weren't capable of. Maybe you've really pushed the boundaries, really gone a long way. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because it's your individual path, it's your soul's journey. But I feel that your career, your work has been a very big part of your soul's journey. You have worked incredibly hard to get where you are. I see that. You have battled and fought to get there. And I just want to bring that recognition in right now. I want to say congratulations, well done. You have done so well. And I see that recognition coming in from your spirit guides, from your family in spirit. I feel you have a lot of family members in the spirit world. I mean, we all do, but I feel you may have more than some. You may have lost some people a little bit early. So again, that doesn't necessarily go for everyone. but there is a lot of support for you there, and I think you will be able to exceed your own expectations. And I feel like the people around you at work, they actually know more about this than you do. I think they see your potential perhaps in ways that you don't. And it does feel like there is a mentor figure coming in for you here as well. There is somebody coming in, if they haven't already arrived, to actually mentor you and help you and sort of nurture you forwards a little bit further. So let's bring in some more cards here. We have Queen of Light, which comes in on 15/6. We have the Dream Walker inverted, so that's number 8. And we have the Sisters of the Seasons inverted on 17. So again, 17/8, that's another 8. All right. Okay, with the 8 cards inverted, I'm going to say that you're pretty exhausted right now. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, I think you're kind of tired. And that's understandable because you have fought and battled and fought and worked and slogged. And I see that so clearly. Now, this is an interesting one with the Queen of Light coming in on 15/6. And the card just says Illumination, Enlightenment, Celebration. And I think you have already made some achievements, but I want to say don't rest on your laurels. Don't get stuck where you are. Don't think that's it now, because there's more to come. There is better to come. And there may be a part of you that's afraid. And again, it's the self-worth that may be kicking in saying, oh no, you don't want to go higher than this. Oh no, you won't be able to do that. I won't be able to cope with that. Oh no, I'll stay small. I'll keep playing it small. So there's definitely some fear coming in there, I think, and that comes in with a choice, because the choice will be yours whether you want to take your career forwards with these new opportunities or not. No one's going to force you to take them. And I think you will have the opportunity to do it in your own time as well. And if you're already working with a counsellor or, getting some help with personal growth or just working on your personal growth generally, I think that would be really quite important for you to be able to make the right decisions with your work, with your career moving forwards, because I feel you could be missing out on an opportunity that is being offered to you, but I feel perhaps you aren't accepting it, or perhaps you've shied away from that at this point in time. So again, it might be a moment to be very, very honest with yourself. And I don't want to say brutally honest, because I don't think that's fair. I just want to say unconditionally honest. Just have a look in the mirror and see what's going on, and do it with great love and great compassion as well. Self-compassion is absolutely key for you. So let's just turn these cards around so we can have a look at them, but we will remember that they came out upside down, so they are here as challenges. Okay. So the Dreamwalker, dreams, the illusions, the collective good and illusions. Yes, and the Sisters of the Seasons, cycles of growth, natural law, divine order on 17/8. Yes, like I was saying, your growth has been stunted, but you will have the opportunity to grow a lot faster if you allow it. And I want to say, don't get caught up in the myth that a lot of empaths get caught up in. We get caught up very much in wanting to help the greater good, wanting to help other people, and we can throw away opportunities presented to us for ourselves, for our personal benefit, and we act like it's because we're being altruistic, because we want to help the greater good or the group or the team. And I'm calling myself out here because I have done that in the workplace. I have stepped away from opportunities that would have allowed my personal growth because I was afraid, and in my head I kind of played it out like, oh no, I want to help the team, I want to be a team player, I don't want to be a manager or whatever, when I did actually have the opportunity to go up the ladder and I chose not to. And the way I justified that, which you may be doing, is I was trying to justify it by making out that, oh no, I was sacrificing myself for the greater good. There is no need to do that whatsoever. Okay, there is no need whatsoever for you to sacrifice yourself for the greater good. I feel you've done enough sacrificing in your life. This is your time now. This is your time of growth. This is your time where things come into, like it says, into divine order. Okay, you have the opportunity for the growth that you missed out on, the things you may have missed out on previously in your career, or the opportunities that you didn't quite get yet. They are coming in now, and it is up to you to accept them, to take them, and to not make excuses as to why you don't deserve them. Okay, because we always do that out of fear and out of feelings of being unworthy. And we might not get there the first time. We might not be brave enough to accept the opportunity the first time it comes up, but there will be another time, so keep working on it, keep going, because it does feel to me like the career progression that you would genuinely like isn't actually that far away. It is coming in for you. So let's just have a look at some more cards. We have 5, travel, interesting, and another 5, the sacred temple. So again, this could be a relocation. I think I said that at the beginning. I feel there could be a relocation coming in for you. And again, that can be scary. That can be frightening. I feel there could be an opportunity. I think it could be with your current employer, or it could be somebody else, but I think it is probably your current employer, where there is an opportunity either to travel or to actually relocate. I feel possibly relocate for some of you. Obviously, this is a group reading, so it will be individual to each one of you, or at least move to a different office or to a different site to work at a different location, even if there's not a house relocation involved, because that's not always necessary. But this is this is something that will challenge you on the level of the mind. So it does feel like an intellectual challenge coming, the right kind of challenge that you've been looking for, where you can literally stretch yourself. And it comes in with the sacred temple as well, which is a very interesting energy to come in. And it does feel like this is divinely guided. I feel these changes coming in, these opportunities that are going to be coming in for you, if they haven't arrived already, they are divinely guided. And I just want to let you know that. And this is why it's safe for you to take these opportunities, because they have been manifested by you. They are showing up because that's what you want. And they may not look exactly like you were expecting. So that much I will warn you of. It may not look exactly like you're expecting it, but don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear here. In fact, I see a lot of good for you. So let's bring in a few of these little message oracle cards. See what your spirit guides want to add there. So don't try to force it. Oh yes, of course. 52-7. Look at your own reflection. Yes, 41-5. And it's okay to play and explore. You don't have to know everything. So this kind of feels like the key for you right now. Okay, if necessary, take a screenshot on your phone of this card and just keep that one and keep reminding it, or write it down. It's okay to play and explore. You don't have to know everything. And it comes in on number 2 energy, which is about exploring polarities, about understanding extremes, about understanding different points of view, different aspects, different standpoints, different beliefs, and finding the truth that unifies us, which is always in the middle. So don't try to force it. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? And you may have tried to force it in the past, and you may be feeling a little bit discouraged at the moment because you did try so hard and it took so long for you to get to this point. But the new opportunity that you actually want, the bigger opportunity, it's there. It's there in the valley. It's right there. If it hasn't shown up yet, it will show up soon. So I want you to say, take your courage in both hands, because it is coming. Don't be afraid and don't be discouraged. Also, look at your own reflection. And this is what I was saying about being very honest about who you are. See how amazing you are. See how, I want to say, see how truthful you are as well. I feel like you're a truth teller. You are somebody who values the truth above all. And honesty is needed in this situation about why you are making the decisions you make, why you are doing the things that you do. I think that is incredibly important right now, and some self-reflection would be very helpful. And again, that is something you can do with a counsellor or with a life coach, or so. They can be very helpful to help you with this kind of exercise, because it is difficult to be radically honest about yourself, but it doesn't have to be harsh or unpleasant or nasty. It comes in on 41-5, so again it comes in on 5 energy, which is the mind, which is considering, because I feel like you have this amazing ability for philosophy, for thinking, for understanding things on a higher level. And remember that you're here to enjoy yourself in this lifetime. You're here to play, you're here to try stuff. Okay, you don't have to get it right first time. You don't have to know everything. If you're moving to a different job, to a different role, you're not expected to know how to do everything immediately, straight off the bat. You know, there is always a bedding in period. There is always a training period. Okay, no one expects you to get it right first time. So I want to say, take a bit of pressure off yourself. You've done enough. Take a bit of the pressure off yourself. And when the opportunity comes up, take it, because people will train you. People will help you. Okay. Right, so let's bring in some money oracle cards here as well. Let's have a look at the financial aspects here, because of course we don't work for fun, we work to get paid. So let's take a look here. Okay. Financial audit. All right, on 40. User abuser. 33. Goldstone crystal on 48. Oh, okay, financial audit. All right. Okay, some quite heavy themes coming in with money for you at the moment. Now, I hasten to add, I do not give financial advice. I'm not qualified to do so. This is not financial advice. We're just looking at the energy surrounding money. If you need financial advice, you must speak to someone who is qualified to do so in your region. So, financial audit, it does feel like your money does need a bit of a look at the moment. So, have a look at your budget. Are you even keeping to a budget, or are you just randomly spending things left, right and centre? Because that can be very stressful. It can make us believe that we have to progress in our career to a certain point so we have a certain amount of money, when actually we might not need it. We might just be overspending or letting it slip through our fingers. Okay. And with user abuser, okay, so that's, I'm not saying that's you, comes in on 33.6. And when that energy is out of balance, it can be to do with addictions. It might be shopping addiction. We might drink a little bit too much, spend a bit too much money going out partying, going out clubbing, to kind of drown our sorrows. So there may be some unhealthy habits that you've got into which cost you a lot of money, okay? And that habit might be shopping, that habit might be a girlfriend or a boyfriend who gets you to buy them things, or a family member who plays on guilt to get you to give them money or to lend them things and they never actually pay it back, or to buy things for them and they never pay you for them. So be very clear about what's going on with your finances at the moment, because this is important and this is having a knock-on effect in your career. And I feel this could be skewing your view of things when it comes to actually making decisions that are right for you when it comes to work and career. And we've got Goldstone crystal as well, which comes in on 48, 12, 3. This is Goldstone crystal, this rather lovely crystal here. You can get a piece. I would recommend that you get a piece because it's shown up in your reading. It's not expensive to get hold of. I think this was £1 or £2 or something. So it's like a couple of dollars. It won't cost you much to get a piece. But that does seem to be drawn to you right now. It is a stone that is very helpful for money, for manifesting money, and for riches, for working with the energy of money. This is very, very helpful indeed. It's also an empowering stone. It's very nice to hold. It's very empowering, and it's also supportive to the solar plexus chakra. So again, there is that aspect as well. And it's pretty. You could get it in a piece of jewellery if you like. It's quite fun with all these little sparkly bits here. I absolutely love it. Now, this is a man-made crystal. Okay, this is not naturally occurring. It doesn't naturally occur quite like this. Okay, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. This is crystal technology right here. This is what that looks like at this level of our consciousness anyway, at this point in our evolution. And it comes in on 48, which is completion of karmic contract. So it does feel like you are due a change in your finances. All right, you're due you're due some big changes when it comes to money, finances, and as a result when it comes to career and work as well. So it does feel like the difficult times should be over soon if they're not already. You've reached the point now where you get to have a change, where you get to choose how things are in more ways moving forwards. That's not to say you didn't have choices in the past, but I feel like it's the end of a chapter financially, and you will get to enter a new one very soon, which is a very nice and positive message to get. And 48, 12, 3, 12 the number of perfect governance, and 3 the divine blueprint. It does feel like you get a whole new pattern with money. So it may be that it's time for you to learn about budgeting properly, or at least implement what you already know, walk your talk there, or it just feels like a big change coming for you financially. Not anything I want you to be afraid of, but it does bode very well for you financially for the future. So that is a really nice positive message for you, pile 2. I really hope that was helpful. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please do leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and do leave me a comment if there's something that you would like to share with us all, because I do really love to read your comments. And I will see you very soon. Take very good care of yourself. Hello, pile 3. You have chosen the pile of cards with the natural foraged piece of quartz. This piece actually came from Cornwall. If I remember rightly, this piece came from the very magical Tintagel area. So we've already got a bit of a magical energy to start with here for this reading. So let's take a look at your cards. To start off, we have Beach, Power in Prayer. Okay. And Storm, Resolve, conflicts. Now, interesting that we are starting in quite a sacred place for you. We're starting with prayer. And with resolving conflict. So it does feel to me like you're quite a spiritual person already, or maybe you have some strong religious beliefs, and I think they stand you in good stead for what you have to deal with, because stormy waters, oh my goodness, with the storm, this is not an easy situation to be in at all. And it may be that you're literally praying for things to get better at the moment in your career, or that you are trying to work towards spiritual solutions to some very concrete problems that are going on in your work or career at the moment. So let's bring in some more cards to get a clearer picture, because this is a group reading, so remember, take what resonates, what makes sense, and leave what doesn't. So we have 17, grief, accepting loss. Okay. We have 2, resources. There we go. Let's move these around so you can see them. We have thoughts. Okay. And then we have Merlin. Oh, we have Merlin coming in with the Tintagel crystal. Well, that's rather fun. So we've got a bit of an Arthurian energy going on here. Again, a very magical energy coming in for you, pile 3. I don't know what it is that you do or exactly who you are, but you have a very magical feel to you energetically. And that is coming through quite strongly in this group reading. So 17, accepting loss, grief. Ooh, that's painful. Look at all those the skulls here on the chest of this very beautiful, very etheric dragon. 2, resources. We've got a soldier here in armour. Thoughts and Merlin. Okay, so this has not been the easiest time. So it could literally be that there is conflict going on in the workplace, or conflict in your personal life, which is affecting your work, affecting your career, and that's certainly going to make things very difficult indeed. And like I said, it feels like you are trying to find a spiritual solution to some very earthly problems right now, which isn't the worst idea, to be honest. You know, that can be very, very helpful. But there is a lot of pain in your past, and this grief here that comes in on 17, which should be such a hopeful number, but it's almost like hope was lost some time ago. Maybe something big happened in your career, in your work life, or you lost a big opportunity, or you didn't get to go in the direction you wanted to go in. Maybe you didn't get to study the way you wanted to, or perhaps you lost somebody. It's been very difficult, and it does feel as though you've had to work very hard to scrabble around and get the resources that you actually needed. So it does feel like things haven't been easy, like you have kind of been operating on a bit of a wish and a prayer lately, certainly when it comes to work. And it could be that those thoughts are really beginning to crowd in on you at the moment. Especially if the workplace is a toxic environment for you at the moment, which it could be for some of you, I feel. If that's very, very challenging at the moment, it could just be making a bad situation worse. If you're struggling in your personal life, it feels like the workplace may not be the best place for you either. It doesn't give you any respite from what's going on in your personal life. It may actually be making things worse. Feels very stressful at the moment. Feels like you may be stuck very much in your head a lot of the time. But it also feels like you can't just quit. You can't just up sticks and leave, like many of us can't when we're in work. We can't just leave because we have bills to pay, we need food, we have to survive, we have to eat, we have to pay rent, or we have to pay for a mortgage, we have to keep a roof over our heads. So let's bring in some more cards just to get a better picture here of what's actually happening. So we have the Well Watcher, so that's wisdom, power of the divine on number 7. We have the Horse King, assistance and control on 42. And we have the Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance on 32. Now that is a hopeful sign to see, absolutely. So with the Well Watcher, yeah, deep water, deep emotion. It feels almost like someone fell down the well. It's almost like this, feels almost like a funeral, this side of the cards here. And this is usually sort of the past or the near past when I'm reading. It does feel like a very challenging energy. But also things that were outside of your control. It feels like whatever happened was very much outside of your control. You couldn't do an awful lot about it, but you had the wisdom to understand that. Because I feel that you are this spiritual person. I do feel that you take a very spiritual outlook on things. You are pragmatic, but at the same time you see the bigger picture. You see God's plan or goddess plan in everything. Doesn't matter, what you call divinity, but you do see the higher order in things, and you do understand that there's a great deal of wisdom in you, and that comes out with the Merlin card as well. All this wisdom is so beautiful. But what the Horse King comes in to tell you right now is ask for help. Ask for support. I don't know if it's possible to ask for support directly from your boss, but I feel like you're not asking for the help or support that maybe you need or maybe you're entitled to. And it could be to do with benefits from your government or from your local authority, maybe something that you're entitled to just to help you get through this difficult period. It may be literally some resources that are available through your work. Maybe, I mean, some workplaces offer free counselling resources like that, or certain amounts of health care or dental care that you're not getting that you could be taking advantage of. I feel there is more help, more assistance for you here than perhaps you realise. You know, I know it's difficult. We don't like to take our personal life to work, and Lord knows we're encouraged not to do that. And we're told, no, you have to keep your work life and your personal life separate. And that's impossible, because you can't cut yourself in half and be two different people. That's utterly ludicrous, utterly ridiculous. But it comes in on 42.6. So I do feel like the heart is being made to make some very difficult choices at the moment. It is very challenging. So do ask for the help where it is available to you. Do ask for the help, do ask for the support, because you are not alone in this situation, regardless of what's going on. Even if the workplace is quite stressful, quite difficult at the moment, I feel like you're not alone. There could be a manager maybe that you need to speak to if people are being difficult, people are being disruptive or making your life difficult. Do ask for help. Ask somebody you trust, somebody who does have some sort of superior position in the company. I think could be very helpful to you. We have this man here, you know, this king feels like he can actually step in to help you. He can offer you the support, the help, the aid that you need at this time. And I want to move on to the Sun Dancers, because this is a very, very positive card to show up. The Sun Dancers, it's almost like an angelic energy comes in with the Sun Dancers, and it says, yes, things will get better. There is a promise here that things will get better, that you will be able to dance and celebrate life again. And it comes in next to the Merlin card as well. And I'm seeing very similar colours on these cards as well. Beautiful purple colours. So again, it's very spiritual, very sacred. It feels almost as if the help, the assistance coming in will be divinely ordered. That's what I want to say. But that won't surprise you, because you already know that. You already know that everything happens in divine timing, and it is all divinely ordered. You already know that. You are that amazing spiritual person. It comes in on 32.5. So 32.5 energy. I think you will be inspired to take some actions, some new actions in your work life. I don't think it's quite the moment yet, because I just feel like you've got too much on your plate and you just have to get through this time. But I feel perhaps, regardless of when you're watching this, I want to say next summer. Okay, I want to say next summer. I feel things will be looking much more positive for you, and you'll be in a much better place to actually make better decisions and perhaps move on with your career, or even move into something a little bit different, because there is this nudge into a more spiritually fulfilling role for you. So it may actually be a case of you wishing to change direction at that point. If you're not in a spiritually fulfilling role at this time, you may want to move into something that does allow you to be your full self. It does allow you to really explore those aspects of self in a different way. So let's just bring in our last cards here. We have a creative endeavour, and we have your higher self. So we've got a number 8 card and a number 2 coming in here. Ah, yes. Okay. So it looks to me like all the efforts that you've put in thus far, it will pay off. It absolutely will, because we've got this number 8 here, which is all about endurance, but it is also about financial abundance. And I think you will find creative ways to keep going at this time, even if things are difficult, even if you're struggling, you know, and perhaps you're thinking, oh no, maybe I'm not as valuable in the workplace as I was. Maybe I think my job's in jeopardy, perhaps. I think there are creative solutions, and I think all of the efforts that you have made thus far will pay off. I do believe that. And I also see the support coming in for you here from your higher self. I see you've been communicating with your higher self, with your angels, with your spirit guides. You have asked for the help, for the support. The help is here. The help is here in spades. The help is definitely on hand. The divine help and the very much more human help as well. You are going to need both aspects to actually get you through this challenging time in your life. Definitely not the easiest time. time. You will have some choices to make moving forwards, but I think some happy coincidences will actually help to move you forwards. I think there could be a new job offer coming in a little bit further down the line. I want to say perhaps not now for many of you, because it just feels like it would be too much, right, too stressful to take on something new at this time. I don't think that would be fair or reasonable to expect you to do that. So I think that could be coming a little bit later on, but certainly there's a very loving energy around you. You are very much loved and taken care of by your spirit guides, by your angels. They are here looking out for you, absolutely. So let's bring in some message oracle cards here. We have Be Silent on 19, 10, 1. Cat energy on 39, 12, 3. And higher expression, lower expression. Well, that makes sense for you. Okay, yeah. Okay, be silent. So be silent, enjoy the stillness. And again, this ties very much in with the card that we had at the beginning, the beach, which is about prayer. So silence, prayer, meditation is very important for you at this time. If you're lucky enough to work somewhere where you actually have a meditation room, use it. Or some big businesses have those rooms where you can go for spiritual contemplation or meditation time. Use it, because I think that will be very supportive for you at this point in time. Having quiet time, that might be working from home, it might be having an office all to yourself for a little while, not having to take phone calls or deal with customers directly or deal with other people will be very helpful for you at this time. But I also want to say that even in that silence, even if you need to take a break from people, you are still a guiding light to others. They will still look to you for spiritual guidance, because you are that person, I feel, in your job. You are that person that people look to for spiritual guidance, so just be aware of that. And I think some people will be quite concerned for you at this time as well. I think you have more supporters in the workplace than you may realise. A lot of people actually look up to you because of who you are, because of the energy that you exude. And then I want to move on to the cat energy card. So I love this card, which is about boundaries. All right, it is about boundaries, and I do want to say good boundaries are very important for you at this point in the workplace. You don't have to do everything that everyone tells you to do all the time. You don't have to, offer to help people all the time. You certainly don't have to help people outside of work, okay? Or people who are trying to bother you with things that are not work related. Hold good boundaries right now. Don't be giving your energy away willy-nilly. I feel like you really need to pull that energy in around you at this point in time, because you're going to need it. And then lastly, with higher expression, lower expression, it does feel very much like the lower aspect of self, so the human self, really wants to be expressing that higher self. So it's like a merging of the higher and lower self at the moment, which is very exciting, but it comes in a very practical 58-13-4, okay? 58-13-4. On 58, we can get stuff done. 58s get things done. They're notorious for being extremely productive and very effective in the workplace. They say if you want something done, get somebody who's got a strong 58 in their chart to do it, because they'll get it done. But it feels to me like you need to live that higher energy, that higher expression of self in the lower expression of self. So it feels like your spirituality needs to come out somewhere. And this is what I was saying about possibly in the future moving into a more spiritual role, or some sort of job, some sort of workplace where that spirituality, that magical aspect of yourself can be a bigger part of what you actually do, can play a larger role in how you work, in what it is that you do. So that could be very interesting for you to explore a little bit further on down the road. But right now, pull your energy in, take care of yourself. So we're just going to bring in some money oracle cards now, because money is always important. We don't go to work for fun. We go to work to earn money because we have to. Well, most of us do, anyway. Charity and altruism. Okay. Abundance angels. You have been talking to the angels. There they are. An energy of abundance. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. So charity and altruism, of course, that would come in for you. I'm not surprised. I'm sure you are very charitable, very altruistic, and you help a lot of people. You may even give money to other people. And I do want to say, make sure you're not doing too much there. Make sure you're not giving away too much, because you do have to take care of yourself. There is certainly a need for you to pull your energy back in. And 42, I think, was the number of the Horse King card here. Yes, so it's another 42 coming in there. So again, that numerology repeating there, 42-6. That is important numerology. Look out for that number. It may show up on your path. Yes. Yeah, you can help other people, but don't do too much for other people right now when it comes to money in particular. Don't be giving too much away. Yes, you are moving into an energy of abundance, and that is what I want you to focus on, because you will be doing better financially in due course. The abundance angels are aware of your requests. They have heard you. They have heard, if you've been making pleas to them to help them, they are coming in to help you. They absolutely are. And it comes in on a very sacred and divine 22-4, the feet of the goddess. So this shows me that you will have the opportunity to build your abundance, to build financially as time goes on. And that's going to be coming in, I feel, just in the next couple of months. That actually isn't that far away. Financially, you will have some opportunities to actually build. Okay, whatever that's going to look like for you, I don't know exactly what that will be, but there are some opportunities coming in for you financially, even if the bigger sort of work change is a little bit further off into the distance at this time. But financially, I think you are going to be okay. You are going to be taken care of during this period, but make sure you're not doing too much for others. You are holding your boundaries, and you are asking for help. So I do hope that was helpful to you, Pile 3. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please do remember to leave a like on this video. Please do also comment if there's something you'd like to share with us, because I do really love to hear your comments and feedback. You take very, very good care of yourself. You are a beautiful, sacred soul, and I will see you very soon. Hello, Pile 4. You've chosen the pile of cards with the reddish-brown agate crystal slice, which we will pop over here with the other agate crystal in the corner here. Let's take a look at your first card. So we're looking at career and work for you, next steps. So we have prairie, move and adapt. We have cattail, spread seeds. Now this is interesting. I feel like it's time for you to be rather intentional, but also very creative in your work life at the moment. A certain element of creativity is needed. This is not a straightforward situation whatsoever. This is not necessarily an easy situation. It doesn't have to be difficult, but it feels like you have to be thinking a little bit outside of the box in order to get the sort of career advancement that you would like at the moment. You may need to be sowing seeds in somebody's mind and your manager's mind at the moment to think about you when a certain project is due to come up. And it does feel like you may be having to juggle a lot of balls at once. Maybe you're having to take on some extra roles. Maybe some people have been let go where you work and you're having to cover 2 or 3 other people's jobs at the moment. So certainly not the easiest time. The prairie can certainly seem very barren and very difficult landscape to be in. And you do have to be very wily to survive it. So there is an energy of coyote coming through here for me, which can be trickster energy, but also I want to say be very wily. That's kind of the spirit animal I want to give you here. That just came to mind. Yeah, do make sure that you are sowing the seeds though. Make sure that everybody is aware of what you would like to do for the future. You don't have to be that obvious about it. It might just be dropping things into conversation. Oh, if you happen to do that, then I can do this, Let people know what you're capable of. Sow the seeds. So let's bring in some more cards. We have 22, rebirth, giving yourself a second chance. We have 4, time. Okay, as in the clocks, not the herb. We have prayer. Oops. And lastly, we have bliss. Okay. Ooh, now that is an interesting reading. Okay. Yeah. Does feel like things aren't quite going to plan at the moment, and there could be a connection to pile 3 here as well. If you feel drawn to watch that one as well, you may want to have a look at that one as well. Not the easiest situation, and you are having to use your wiles to get through this. It may be your spiritual wiles, maybe feminine wiles that you're having to use to get through this situation, because it just feels really tricky. Very, very tricky indeed, this situation. And it feels as well as though it might be difficult for you to actually talk about this in the workplace. It could be that you don't have anyone to talk to at home, or perhaps your friends aren't supportive when it comes to your chosen career, or maybe just managers just don't want to listen to what it is that you have to say at the moment. So you are literally having to plant seeds in their mind, because if you ask them for something directly, you won't get it. You're having to be a little bit manipulative in, in the best possible way, having to be a little bit careful, a bit clever about how you go about doing things. And that's certainly not the easiest situation to be in when you are having to use a little bit of manipulation to get what you should be getting. This is certainly not easy. For some of you, I feel this could be a company that you left and came back to. It could be that you're giving it another shot, or a job that you're giving another shot for some of you. Remember, this is a group reading, so that won't be the case for everybody. But for some of you, that's going to be the case here. And I think that's where some of this difficulty comes in. And you were hoping that it would be better this time, and it's not. This is not the best situation to be in. Or you may have given the company a second chance. Yeah, I don't want to talk about you getting the second chance, or maybe they gave you a second chance or something, but it feels like it's kind of a toxic situation to be in, and you're kind of having to bide your time at the moment. Maybe you're literally looking to leave, but you can't leave at the moment. Very tricky situation, very difficult energy, regardless of what the exact circumstances are. It's a tricky energy, it's a difficult energy. It's a bit of a struggle, and yes, you may literally be having to lean into your spirituality, into your religious beliefs, your spiritual beliefs to actually get through this one. You may be having to cast spells to protect yourself at work, or just to get through each day so that you can feel motivated, so that you can feel grounded and okay. And I would say as well with this situation, I want to say ground your energy and shield your energy in the workplace, because I feel energetically you could be becoming depleted at this point in time. If you don't already ground and shield yourself and protect your energy, you must do it. Clear your energy, shield your energy, ground your energy. Okay. Because otherwise you are going to find yourself being depleted, like people literally grabbing chunks off you, biting, like sharks, biting energetic chunks off you, and you can end up feeling very, very depleted in that situation. Yeah. And at the same time, you are trying to work towards something. I see you have a goal in mind. I see you do have a career goal. And maybe this is why you're sticking this job out, because you're thinking, well, I want to get there, and this is a stepping stone, or I think this will help me to get there. So it feels like you have the right intentions to be here, but perhaps you're doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, or what you believe are the right reasons, or maybe you think you just have to get through this difficult phase to get to a better one, or maybe there's a carrot being dangled in front of your face. Oh, if you do all of these horrible things, then maybe we'll give you a shot at that. So it's not a nice energy, it's a manipulative energy, regardless of who's doing the manipulating right now. It might be you, might be the boss, the company. But it's certainly not an ideal situation to find yourself in, that much I'm quite certain. So let's take a look at some more cards. We have the Arrow Master coming in on 10, hitting the mark, intention, detachment. Yeah, so it does feel like you're being quite intentional by staying here. You're here for a very specific reason, because you do have this intention, this place that you want to go. You've got your eyes on the prize. Okay, and I feel that that may be one of the reasons that you're actually still here. You're hoping for change, hoping for transformation. And maybe you're trying to stay emotionally detached from this job as well, just because it's just something that you have to do right now. So we have the Keeper of the Scales, Fairness, Balance, 38, comes in on 38, 11, 2. So that comes in with Wisdom as well. Okay. And then we have the Shadow Queen inverted, so we have 16 inverted. Okay, now 16 in a traditional tarot deck, which this is not. This is an oracle deck. This is one of Colette Baron Reid's. 16 is the Tower in the Major Arcana, and I just want to touch on that because that feels relevant here. That energy feels relevant. Now, the Shadow Queen is acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. So like I said, there's this energy of manipulation here. But the Tower very often brings sudden, dramatic change. And with this card being inverted, I feel like that change is being prevented. You may actually be being out-manipulated, being out-manoeuvred at the moment in the workplace. It feels like perhaps the aims, the goals that you're hoping to achieve by being in this role are actually being subverted in some way, shape or form. So this may not be the right place for you to stay at the moment. Although you may be thinking, well, on the balance of things, this is the right thing to do because it takes me in the right direction, and there is wisdom in that. But it feels as though there is something stopping you from achieving that change, from finding out what it is you need to find out, or maybe from achieving the training or experience that you need to have the bigger changes to happen, to actually get to this place, this bliss card here, where you are in the role that you want to be in, where you are feeling a lot happier. there is this real blockage of energy, very shadowy blockage of energy that comes in that isn't quite clear. You can't quite see what's going on. So you may not be even sure why it's happening, who's behind it. There could be somebody behind the scenes that's being very manipulative here, who is sticking the knife in when you don't realise it. Could be a colleague, preventing you from getting opportunities by saying things about you behind your back. And oh my goodness, that's a horrible energy to be in. It's childish, it's petty, very petty energy coming through here from this situation. It's all kind of manipulation, pettiness, and it's horrible. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if you worked in a very dog eat dog company, or a very competitive kind of career, very competitive kind of job here. Maybe you're in sales or something like that, or something similar, because certainly there's a lot of people working against you in this particular location. So it really doesn't feel very good at the moment. It doesn't feel very good, doesn't feel very positive to me. So let's bring in some more cards. We have present power on number 2. Number 6, we have family, friends and guides. Okay, so it could actually be that your family and friends outside of work are saying to you, you know what, this isn't right for you. Why are you doing this? Why are you hitting your head against a brick wall at the moment? So you could actually have people outside of work, or even if you have a trusted friend in work, saying, what are you doing? Could be your spirit guides stepping in going, yeah, no, you shouldn't be doing this. And it feels like your logical mind is going, well, you know, I know what I'm doing this for a reason, but I feel you're being blocked. So whatever your aim is, I don't think you're going to quite get there as quickly, as swiftly, or as painlessly as you were hoping to do. Yeah, you are very much standing in your power right now. You're aware of what's going on. You know you're surrounded by manipulators. You know you're having to do things in a certain way, and you are being incredibly strong, and you do have a huge amount of strength. So if anyone can get through this situation, it is you. Yes, I agree. You're absolutely capable of doing this. But why make it so difficult for yourself? That is my question. Are you making it difficult for yourself unnecessarily, hoping that this is a shortcut, or hoping this is an easy way to do it? Because I don't think it is an easy way to do it. I think this is a very difficult way of doing things. So I want you to ask yourself that question, and of course that may not apply to everyone, but those that it does. Are people outside of work trying to caution you, trying to tell you that you should be taking care of yourself and maybe putting the job second? Yeah, or maybe you're being a little bit too pig-headed about this. Maybe you're being a little bit too stubborn in this situation. Maybe it was time to leave a long time ago, but you're just too damn stubborn to do that. You're going to stay and grit your teeth to the bitter end. It could be a bit of a power struggle going on there as well in the workplace. So maybe they tried to make you leave, and you're just hanging on in there for you know, so that you can get some sort of reward or redundancy package or something that you're hoping to achieve from it. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, of course. So let's bring in some message oracle cards here. But it's not a comfortable situation. I'm not totally happy with you being in this situation. I mean, it's your choice, of course, what you do with your life. You have to make your decisions, because I don't know enough about your life. It's not my responsibility to make decisions for you. It has to be you that does that. But just energetically, it really feels like you've got yourself into quite a difficult position here. So, the universe is vast, generous and abundant. Yes, the universe is vast, generous and abundant, and there's a lot of wisdom that comes in here. And I could feel like I could be speaking to an older person here as well. And you could be very wily with all the things you've been through, but you don't have to make everything so difficult for yourself. So get up and go do the thing on 47. So 47, 11, 2, some more wisdom coming in there. And cat energy, okay, making its second appearance in this particular reading. Cat energy is all about boundaries, and I feel that's a very, very important theme for you at the moment, keeping up boundaries, keeping your private life and personal life very, very separate from your work life, because there could be gossiping around the water cooler, and you just don't need that. But also get up and go do the thing. It could be that a change of career is in order and you're just not doing it. Okay, maybe there is a way that you could do it, but you would rather have someone else pay for it, or, you know, and I understand that. I get that, but it doesn't feel like it's a good solution. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve in this workplace doesn't feel quite right. Maybe time to get up and go do something else, go do something a bit different, or go and work somewhere else. It just feels like this is a very stagnant, difficult, petty, manipulative energy for you to be stuck in. So there is a suggestion that you might actually want to go and do something else right now, go somewhere else, actually look for a different opportunity, because the universe is vast. There's so much there for you. You can be independent. You can strike out on your own. Maybe it's literally time for you to strike out on your own. Maybe as a contractor, maybe in a self-employed role that's similar to what you do now, but doing it working for yourself. So that may be an option for some of you. So let's have a look at the money oracle cards here, because none of us works for fun. We work because we have to, because we need to get paid. So let's take a look at the money oracle. Have a look there for you. Oh, two coming out at once. Abundance dance and coming soon. Okay, you are very capable of making money. I mean, you may already be really well paid. You may already be in quite a senior position where you are. It just feels so bloody awkward. That's why I want to get you out of it. I want to get you out of this energy for sure. Coming soon, yes. It does feel like this is a preview of coming attractions, and maybe that's why you're hanging on in here, because it feels like a preview of this energy that is coming. But I don't feel like you have to suffer through this in order to get there. It feels like you have manifested the abundance. It is on its way. I feel you have worked with the higher mind. You have manifested this. It is on its way. The abundance that you want is coming. I feel like perhaps you don't have to stay in this difficult situation to achieve it. Golden opportunity, 15. Okay. Yeah, on 15-6, golden opportunity. This is an exciting energy. Didn't we already have a 15? Can't remember. No, we had a 16. Okay, so 15, golden opportunity. Yeah, be very, very aware of what the opportunity is where you are at the moment. All right, all that glitters is not gold. And you do want to get to the golden, blissful, happy place in your career, in your workplace. But the way you're doing it right now, or a way that might be offered to you presently, may not be all that it appears. I'm just going to bring in some pyrite here. It may be fool's gold. It may not be the positive opportunity that you were hoping for. What you're trying to do right now may not be taking you even in the right direction. It may be taking you backwards. So I just want to bring in a big dollop of caution here and tell you to look at this situation very, very clearly. Be very clear about what is happening. It may be necessary for you to get some careers advice from an expert in the field, somebody who can help you see this more clearly than perhaps you can, somebody who has a better perspective on things, or who knows you, who can see what's happening in your personal life, who may have a better insight as to the impact this is having on you. So do be very, very careful, because yes, you are capable of going far, and I think you will do, but I want you to be very careful of how you get there, because it won't be worth it if you burn out in the meantime. And that's what I want to say. Don't allow yourself to burn out at this point in time, because you've worked incredibly hard to get where you are, and that would be a terrible shame. I feel like the abundance will come no matter what. It's just a case of how it comes to you, how you reach it, how you get there in the career changes, and what it actually looks like when it shows up. And you don't necessarily get to control all of that. Cash flow, energy flow, yes. It does feel like that energy of abundance is always already trying to find its way to you. It is already trying to find its way to you. And I feel there could be a better opportunity for you than the job that you're currently in. It may be time to do a real audit of your work life. You may kind of just be a bit stuck in a rut with this at the moment. There is a better opportunity. There is a better solution, I believe. Okay. Be very clear about your work situation right now. Remember that the universe is vast and abundant, and it really may be time to look at other options right now if this is just taking too much out of you. But of course, it is your life, it's your decision, not mine, and you must be happy with your decision. That's very, very important. So I hope that was helpful to you, Pile 4. This is a moment to be grounded and very sensible, but also you have to put yourself first. You have to put your health first, your well-being first. It's not just all about work, okay? We work to live, not live to work. All right, well, maybe you do live to work, but that's not healthy. That's not the best way to be, okay? And I want you to be happy. And I know that you can be, and that you will be. And there's this bliss card waiting for you. So please do remember to subscribe to the channel. Please do give me a like if you haven't already. Please do feel free to leave me a comment. I do love to read your comments if there's something you would like to share with us all. You take very, very good care of yourself. Take a very good and careful look at your work situation at the moment. See what's working, see what isn't, because I feel like some changes are necessary. You take very, very good care of yourself, Pile 4, and I will see you very soon.